Winter's Guile is a very good exotic that I feel is slept on. Winter's Guile, what it does is it provides an increasing melee damage on the amount of melee kills you get, and this lasts for 5 seconds. At the max amount of stacks, which is 5, you will have a 275% increased melee damage. Now, how do we get the most benefit out of this? Using Heat Rises, we will be able to get melee energy back on airborne kills. This will grant us 20% all the way up to 50% depending on the tier of enemy that we are killing. Going over to armor mods, we can increase this regen even more using melee kickstart, giving us a 12.9% increase to melee regen as soon as we use a melee. This will give us an instant 12% to our melee, which is awesome. We can also pair this with impact induction to keep giving us grenade abilities upon melee damage. At the start, it will give us 20% grenade energy every 7 seconds that we get melee damage on an enemy. We can also run heavy-handed to generate us orbs to generate more abilities using some other mods like Insulation and Absolution. What Insulation does gives us 4% class ability energy on Orb of Power pickup. And what Absolution does is it gives us 5% ability energy across the board to grenade, melee, and class ability, increasing our uptime of those. We can also use Hands On, which will generate us extra super energy upon melee kills. We also have a seasonal artifact mod, which is Melee Authorization. Melee Authorization will turn all of these melee-centered mods to one cost. So you can run more melee Kickstarters, or you can just run one of each to where it doesn't take up as much charge. And the same with Hands On, it will only cost one. So, going into the gameplay loop of it, what you want to do is you can either pop your Heat Rises or just jump in the air and just use your snap melee. You can also use your grenade and pop that to give you Heat Rises, and when you pop your class ability, you will get restoration times 2. Now this is very good because we can run Ember of Torches and Ember of Empyrean. Solar Weapon and or ability Final Blows will extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. So we can have permanent uptime of restoration times 2. We can also use Ember of Char, which will make our solar ignition spread Scorch, and Ember of Ashes to increase the amount of Scorch stacks we apply to targets. Now another thing is our melee will also apply Scorch because it is the Incinerator Snap. We spark 5 bolts that explode and deal 20 points of Scorch damage, plus 10 if we're running Ember of Ashes. Overall, this build I feel like is very slept on and can be very useful in certain settings, but not in all settings. I personally use this when I'm trying to practice for my Ghost of the Deep speedruns, and I'm actually working on a solo speedrun for it using this exact build. So, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and sub, and if you have any additions to this build you want to put in, please drop them in the comments below so I know and I can try it out for myself. I've been Delta, I'll see you in the next video.